And it's a Protoje, eh?
Yeah.
Ethiopia is what represented black freedom. Yeah, this is Protoje, and you're locked into Arts TV.
Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? It's me, it's Akabelai, and I am back with a very extremely special guest for you guys, and I'm so excited to have this conversation. My today's guest is a Jamaican of Afro-European heritage, a contemporary reggae singer and songwriter, the one and only, here comes the drumstick, Protoje. How are you?
I'm good, I'm doing well.
Yes, I'm really great, and I'm so excited to have this conversation. I want to start this episode with you explaining, because I feel like our environment affects how we see the world and how we interact with the world. And your mom is a very renowned singer. That probably influenced your music career. Let's talk about that.
Growing up in Jamaica, you're getting exposed to lots of music, very, musical place, always hearing stuff. And growing up with my mom, I mean, she had kind of eased back of doing music at that time, so I didn't really get to see her in being an artist as much, but I just knew of it. But then, you get older, you start to research and listen to stuff, and you're like, oh, this is dope, and I like this, and I would like to do something like this.
So after you started your career, and the more got into the industry, I believe that your work shows yourself, and you connect with what you do. But do you remember any unforgettable moments in your career that changed the way you do what you do?
I guess going on tour for the first time and seeing what the world was like and how people connect with your music gave me a better idea of how to communicate with people through music. And I think, there's been moments like when I first worked with Don Corleone and did 7 Year Itch and really learned from a great producer how to craft better songs. And then I think just, how do I say just going off on my own and doing doing my own label and starting up that and producing for other artists and stuff like that, really, those are like pivotal points in my career, I think.
Can you tell us how your Jamaican heritage influenced the songs that you do? Because it's part of yourself, it's part of your identity.
Yeah, well, I mean, reggae music is, to create a music as a country is epic, so to have our own music, like reggae music, is that definitely had an influence on how I sound, the way I sound. And then just growing up in Jamaica, seeing the simple life, seeing the city life, having to deal with, Jamaica is a complex place, the whole heap, just a lot of different personalities and lifestyle and country and town and uptown and garrison and just, I mean, the whole world is like this, but Jamaica has found a way to it's a country of 3 million people, and think about the influence that its music alone has had globally. It's crazy, so Jamaica is just seeping into you and the mentality, and it comes out in the music.
Let's talk about how when you do a music, it's not only about writing lyrics and then creating some melody, but you need to have a storytelling, you need to tell something. So how do you do that? How do you blend the two?
Well, this first is it's an internal, so I'm writing music to communicate something, and it's like I try to narrow down on the feeling more than anything. How is this making me feel? And once I narrow in on that, it's then the story, stories and ideas come from that. And if what I'm writing is changing my feeling, then I don't go with it. I try to make a song have a certain feeling. And that's what I zero in on mostly, just how is this making me feel? And then once I know that, I'll have the words to describe it, and so we go forth, and then obviously finding the right melodies that assist the person in absorbing the message,
Exactly, and I feel like that is something that you should be really happy and really proud about, because not a lot of people can do that. Because that's the reason why we are having such kind of chaos right now. People don't know what they feel. They don't know how to identify what they're feeling. So this is your third time coming to Ethiopia.
Yeah.
And let's go back to the first time. What was your experience for the first time?
Let me try to remember that. It was just good. I was here with my whole band, with 11, 12 of us.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. I roll deep when I'm traveling. But it's like musicians, like 7 of us on stage, like 5 musicians, 2 singers, myself, 2 engineers, my assistant, video, tour manager. So it's like, it's a big crew. So coming here with a lot of people was fun, because it was like, yo, we can still do stuff. And it was good. I went to Shashamani that time. I went to Wonderganet, I think. So I went and saw stuff, because I didn't want to come here and just be locked up. So it was crazy. And when I did my show, I was so surprised that so many people knew who I was. And they were going crazy. I didn't know nobody down here know who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and not only that, it was like, they were very happy and intense. It was overwhelmed. I didn't know that I had this much love here. So I really appreciated it. Yeah, that was the first time.
Like, did you have any expectations of how it would turn out?
Yes, Ethiopia, so you have all your expectations, but it's like at the end of the day too, I just try to not put too many expectations on things and just be in the moment and see what's up, you know?
Exactly, be in the moment. I feel like that, we should have that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know? As you've said, when you tour around, and it's not only about performing, it's about connecting with your audience. And how do you do that? How do you connect with that amount of audience that is cheering for you, that is happy to see you there?
Well, I mean, you just, well, first you show up, you know, people love to see their artists like live, give them a live show. For me, I like to spend time around the city and the country, so I don't like to just be doing a show and then I'm gone. So I come here and I do the show, but then I go to a couple of spots and see what people do, visit around the place, and then you just randomly meet up on so many people that way that be like, yo, you know, thank you for coming. Here, you know, I went to like so many different places on this trip too, like all over, and it was like everywhere I go, people would be like, yo, thank you for coming here, would never expect you to be here. And it's like, I think it makes people know that you at least you know, you want to learn something or get something from them as well.
I'm not a musician. I am not even a bit close to it. But I feel like preparing for a concert is pretty tiring and sometimes overwhelming. But how does Protoje prepares when you have a concert? Like, what do you do? Is there anything that you do to prepare?
I mean, to be honest, you know, that's the easiest part of music to me is doing the show. It's the easiest part to me.
So you don't have any like plans, any routines that you go through? Yeah,
but like the preparation is done way before the show. You know what I mean? Like when I'm rehearsing and preparing and practicing, that's way before the show. That's just life. That's just what we do. So it's like by the time a show comes, I know my band is prepared. I know where I don't have any, like I don't get stage fright. I don't get any of that. I just go take a nap before my show, wake up. That's the one thing I'll do mostly. I'll go and take a nap.
What if you don't?
If I don't, I don't. But certain cities I don't. Like if I'm in New York or LA or London or Addis, like I know I don't have time to take the nap because it's just more. You know what I mean? When I did for a show night, more go out and have dinner and more whole of vibes and then go to the show. But I'm very relaxed. And on the show is freedom. It's no retake. It's no let's fix this part. It's no opinion of anything. You're just free. And if you make a mistake, you make a mistake, but it's your energy. Half the time people listening don't know the technical mistake that the keyboard made on the third verse, you know what I mean? It's like you're holding an energy, and it's the feeling you get to do the feeling. So I don't do as much, like we prepare all year, and then by the time the shows are there, we can more just be free and do what comes to us, you know.
So now let's talk about your album that you are now currently doing. Tell us about that.
I'm working on it right now for this year.
Okay.
I was inspired a lot by Ethiopia and
How so? Tell us about that. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, you have to understand, in the West, to me, Ethiopia is what represented black freedom in the 30s, 40s, and 50s when everything was colonized in Africa. Ethiopia stood tall. That gave Jamaicans, Caribbean people, and black Americans the same, very fascinated with this country that was able to remain unconquered all through time. So the history of that was a lot of black pride and a lot of, how would I say, like purpose and fight that was given to people in the West. So throughout that history of time, in that time, you know, His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie, had a big influence on the West. So it's like, I was thinking a lot about just history and the war-ridden world that we're entering into right now. That's what we're heading for, like just global conflict and all of that.
Exactly.
I was reminded of how in a time against all odds, one country stood firm. And just thinking about these things, and as I say, just what's happening in the world right now, it just brought me back to Ethiopia. And I was like, I want to start my year in Ethiopia, and I want to be here in that time when, you know, a lot of people come back home to Ethiopia in January.
Yeah.
So that was my plan, and I didn't even have any shows. It wasn't about shows. I was like, I'm gonna go there and film and see the place and hold that energy. And if you guys want to find some shows for me to do, I'll do them. And that's how I got here.
Let's talk about how we can use music, because as you have said, music is really powerful in terms of expressing yourself, healing yourself, and connecting. So how can we use music as a bridge between Jamaica and Ethiopia? And not only Jamaica and Ethiopia, but between two things.
Just showing up is half the battle, you know, just doing stuff like, it made a difference that I decided to come here and spend 3 weeks. That alone is gonna bridge. I was in Mekele, I was in Adama, I did shows there. You know what I mean? It's like going around, it's like these things, and just to let people know, like sometimes people don't even know the influence their country has. Like people in Ethiopia have no idea the esteem that Jamaicans hold Ethiopians in, you know what I mean? They probably just don't know. So it's like, you know, I did a song with Kasmasa when I was here last time too, which people really love. So that's a Jamaican artist and an Ethiopian artist that's doing a song in Amharic that plays in Jamaica, you know what I mean? So see international shella, whatever. And then at the end of the day, universal message and feeling. I think, you know, sometimes it's just we are from different places, but we feel the same things. We have the same fears, same joy, same doubts, insecurities, like, you know, same type of joy. You know, we feel ways towards our. There's so many things for us to connect on, and just to, you know, start by communicating and just sharing more. You know.
The next thing that I want us to talk about is the first one about the tour that you just had. You've mentioned some places. I want you to share us your experience, how you felt and the overall thing.
I came to Addis, I did festivals to start the whole thing off. Then I went to Adama, which was, you know, different again, just places I've never seen. I did that. I went and stayed in Debrecen. I spent 2 days there. Then I went to Bali Mountains.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Bali.
I really want to go there, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the peak. We went all the way up there. full of vibes and went down to the villages within the Bali Mountains and,
Interesting.
you know, ate food there, everything.
What do you had?
I think you call it cabbage, but we
Okay.
call it kalalu. It's the green.
Okay, cabbage. We call cabbage tilguman.
Yeah, so I think it's that, but it's just that and the bread that they made there.
Okay, okay.
And then so I spent time there. We shot some crazy visuals up there. It's gonna be crazy.
So you were like doing also
Videos for like
Okay.
some of my songs are not out yet. So
Okay, okay.
lots of visuals. I did that. And then I went to Lalibela. I spent like 3 days in Lalibela. Was amazing. Went and visited like everywhere up in Lalibela. And then I went to Afar.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now you've been to the coldest.
Yeah,
to
I
the
was.
hottest.
Trust me, I was in the volcanoes that erupted last week.
You serious?
Yeah, there was like melted lava, like.
And you're
fresh.
okay?
I went all the way up to it.
It's
It was
crazy, risking your whole life.
It was vibes. It was vibes, and went to the Salt Lake, and we just did the whole thing. Went to the sulfuric acid place, like.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, man. I was traveling with Aziz, New Ethiopia. He does like carry people around Ethiopia, so. Then went to Mekele and did a show there. Yeah. So it's like all over the place, and went to Shashamani as well. You know, I got to see so much stuff. They let me see the Battle of Ottawa Museum.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I got to go and visit that and see it, and it was just a vibe. So it's been a really fulfilling start to my year and a very positive way to set the year. You know?
Yes, I'm so amazed and surprised. Someone actually doing and defining the odds. That's so nice. And how about the documentary? Tell us about the documentary. How you first got the idea, what the documentary is about, and also when is it going to be out?
It's twofold things. Like what I'm doing is like I have a bunch of songs that for the album that I'm shooting visuals for. So I came here to shoot that. And like shoot like full things. Like we have some dope stuff with like we linked up with Ethiopia Skate and the Addis girl skaters where, you know, they did some stuff for us and just kind of doing lots of stuff. And then throughout that now we're just filming other stuff and building a narrative for something to go along with my project to kind of give context and things. So that's what we're working on.
For me, something that I personally want to ask, especially when it comes to you being involved in different areas in music, being in different part of the world, it's really hard to balance things. What you feel and the things, the results that is expected from you, and also your personal life. How do you balance all those things?
I'd say the right people around help that, and understanding that sometimes your time is not as ample as they would like. I feel for myself it's just to understand I can't control everything and to let go of certain things and not weigh yourself down by expectation or obligation. And I think just finding time to enjoy life. Because if you're not enjoying life, for me, it's not worth it. The success is not worth it if I'm not enjoying life and forget even enjoying life, just enjoying the day. And when I just narrow down my life to like 24 hours or just from I wake up to when I sleep, life gets a lot simpler than the next 6 months all I have to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? When I just narrow it down to today and not worry about like a long time, it makes everything simpler. And then when you just have to balance your day, then, you know, not that much to,
Yeah.
you know, so that's my vibe.
It's like being open to what you control, focusing on that.
And just being present, just being present. You know what I mean? Like today, all I know is that I have to catch a flight and then I'm leaving and then I'm not even, don't talk to me about like Tuesday right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm not there yet. Like I'm working and we have plans for the future, you know, but I mean in terms of where my mindset is gonna be at, I don't even know. You know what I mean? That's how I try to just be free and be open. And
Exactly.
that's the vibe.
If there's anything else that you'd love to add, especially related with music, how you need music to heal yourself maybe, to express yourself, especially for the young people that are watching us, that wants to create an impact and put their print in this huge industry. Let me give you the floor.
My thing is, when it comes to like music, or I would say anything to do with creative arts, is that there's a special bond between you and the craft that you have. It's like you want it to be a very symbiotic relationship, something that both things are benefit from, the art itself and you. And it's like, I feel when you dedicate yourself to your craft and your passion and your interest, it leads you to places that your mind cannot even begin to grasp are possible. So you may just really like listening to music and making playlists for your friends.
Exactly.
And you could lean into it and end up being an A&R for that helps people's career. You know what I mean? It's like you have to follow your passion, no matter how small it may seem or how far something else may seem. If you keep working on your craft and leaning into your passion, because love can bring forth so much different type of creations. Just you being in love with something can bring forth things that you can't even imagine, or show you things about yourself that you don't know. And I think that's what I would tell any creative, music or any other kind. Maybe any person, even not creative, just whatever it is. Because I feel we all have a creative gene in us, you know what I mean? And even if you're doing a job that is more structured, you can still bring your own identity into anything, right? So I just feel that, and I feel if you do that, you have a much better chance to get joy out of life, I guess.
I feel like, especially nowadays where there's a lot of things that is trying to hold you where you are, it's good to know how powerful we are as a human being, understand what our ideas and thoughts can do, and I mean, just trust the process, I guess. That's what we should say. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, thank you. It was a good vibe. Yes. Good to meet you.
Yes, I guess cheers. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, we can cheers.
We can also cheers to that.
Blessings, yes.
So guys, I have nothing else to add, and I hope you guys had a very good time with us. And yes, I had a very good time. Thank you again.
Blessings, give thanks.
Okay, so this was Arts Music that we had for you guys this week. Until we see you guys next week, bye.